So, hi everybody. Back in Germany, back with my woolly hat. Today I'm here testing the new TaylorMade M3. I'll be back in a minute and tell you what I think. So, new season, new catchphrase. Last year it was jailbreak, this year it's Twistface. What is Twistface? Twistface describes the bulge on TaylorMade drivers. What is bulge? Bulge is the shaping of the face, this curvature of the face which every driver has. Why does it have it? Because of a thing they call gear effect. That means that if you don't hit the ball in the center of the face, say you hit it in the toe, then the actual club head twists away from the ball, giving the ball a side spin which will make it curve if you hit it out of the toe to the left and if you hit it out of the heel to the right. In order to get the golf ball to land somewhere on the fairway, the companies are trying to help you by basically making the ball start slightly to the right if you hit it from the toe and slightly to the left if you hit it from the heel. If I understand TaylorMade correctly, what they're saying is that because of the shot dispersion in amateur golf or hobby golfers, they're saying that you tend to hit the ball, if you're off center, up at the top of the toe or down at the bottom of the heel, and that there simply isn't enough help there for you. So they've designed their drivers so that the top of the toe is actually more open and the bottom of the heel is more closed. And they've done this by kind of twisting a natural bulge so that it's basically stronger up here and down at the bottom. Why are they doing this? Well, according to their statistics, they say that somebody that hits the ball out of the toe will tend to have a closed club face, and somebody who hits the ball out of the heel will tend to have an open club face. Whether this is true or not, I don't know, but most certainly if that is the case, then maybe this could help you. It's also the reason that they're not keen on robot testing, because the robot will actually deliver the club face square to the ball, and we can change the impact position with a so-called movable lie board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a few balls myself and see what I think of it, and then I'm going to put it in the robot anyway. And if anything else, or if nothing else, we're going to actually see if there is a difference between the kind of launch direction with a Twistface driver and the launch direction of a normal driver. So I'll take a Callaway Epic and measure the two against one another. Again, if you really want to know, is this the right driver for me, then it's better to basically go on the driving range and try it yourself. But if this helps you to kind of get a bit of an idea, is it worth going to the driving range and testing this driver, then yeah, but then it's been worthwhile, hasn't it? So let's get to work. So that felt really good. I've hit it more or less out of the center of the face, and it didn't really surprise me. I must admit, I've always liked TaylorMade drivers. I think they give you good feedback. There's a good sound when you hit them, and they look pretty good. They've changed this one a little bit because they've changed the colours, and we've now got this carbon top. And that started with the M2 generation, and we got away from the kind of the white drivers which were popular, you know, 5 or 6 years ago. I personally like that very much. I think it looks really good, and one of the things I've always loved about the TaylorMade drivers, if you've got them in the shop, they look really good in the rack, don't they? So when you take it off, you actually feel like, you know, God, you know, this looks like it could really help me, because you can see some of the technology. And if you look at the base plate here, you know, there's screws and things that you can move around which will change the weighting of the club. They don't change it massively, but you can increase basically the stability of the club by moving the weight away from the face. You can also get the club face to close a little quicker or a little bit slower by moving it more to the toe or more to the heel, depending on what you have. But in my experience, majority of times you'll set it up for your swing and then you'll leave it there probably for the next 2 or 3 years until you get a new driver. But again, it's nice to have the option, and were you to make a swing change, you can still change the loft and eventually change the setup of the driver to suit the swing change, and it doesn't mean you have to go out and get a new driver just for that. So, I mean, I think probably the first thing now to do is try and hit one off the middle somewhere up in the toe and see whether I can actually see any difference in the kind of ball flight that we're getting there. So I would expect this thing to kind of start out to the right and then kind of come back. We'll see whether it does. Yeah, got that one out in the middle. This could be the new trick. Try and hit it out of the toe. Okay, now that was out of the toe. It wasn't quite as high as they want me to hit it, but it was certainly out of the toe, and that had a really good flight on it. Also felt very solid off the face. It did start right, probably around about kind of 10 yards, if not 12 yards right of the thing, and it's then come back in and probably landed just slightly left of it. Left of centre, I mean. What that could mean is that maybe the club face was pretty square there for me, and that's the reason it's actually landed a little bit to the left. Or no, that's not true either, is it? No, it must have been slightly close, and that's why it's landed a little left. So, God, they might be right. Let's try another one. So, come on, right out of the toe. That's toe hit again, and that's gone pretty straight, if I'm honest. And like I say, it feels good. It feels good. Yeah, interesting. So now heel. This always makes me feel a little bit nervous. Oh, that felt awful. Yeah, that was kind of probably high heel rather than low heel. Felt terrible. Definitely had gear effect on it. Disappeared off to the right. We've got a lot of wind here as well anyway today, so it's going to go to the right. Didn't like the feel of that whatsoever. But it's not in the fairway. It's probably kind of off to the right of the fairway. Does tend to say though that if you're going to hit it off the heel, you might just have the club face a little bit open. Although I am trying to do this intentionally. Let's have another go. Okay. Oh, another horrible feeling. Yep. Well, that's more or less done what it said on the thing, and I'll see if I can come into the camera. I don't know if you're going to see where I managed to hit that baby. Yeah, do you get that? That's yeah, not a great feeling, but a most certainly a good result. I mean, it's landed right of the fairway, but really that doesn't deserve to be on the planet. So let's see what the robot thinks of them. First, I'll mark up both drivers using the same template so that we're hitting out the same position on both drivers. So the two figures we're looking at here are face angle and launch angle. The face angle there was 5.9 and the launch angle 5.5, and here the face angle 6.6, launch angle 5.8. So that's the Callaway driver. If we move on to the TaylorMade, face angle 7, launch angle 6.3, so around about a half a degree difference there. And the second shot, face angle, come along, 6.8, 6.2. Yeah, so, okay, so you've got about half a degree of difference. Now, if we look at the heel hits, this is the Callaway again. You've got 7.8 8.8 6.4 launch and 7.8 6.3 launch, so they're pretty consistent. Now let's have a look at the TaylorMade. 8.8.7 and 9.1 7.2, so very similar there as well. So in summary, what can I say about the TaylorMade driver? I think, you know, it's never in doubt, TaylorMade make good drivers, and this is a good driver. It looks good, it feels good, and it sounds good. Is Twistface going to be the revolution that they say it is? I doubt it. It does help if you fit into this statistical group. Most certainly, I think the robot has also showed us the ball will start further right if you hit it out of the toe, and it will start further left if you hit it out of the heel. And if you're coming in with a closed face out of the toe and an open face out of the heel, then most certainly more likely to be on the fairway. I think more than ever, though, it's kind of driving us down a line of testing before we purchase, fitting before we buy, because every swing is a little bit different, and I think now that the manufacturers are actually seeing that, they're obviously trying to shoot for as big a market as possible. Whether TaylorMade have actually found that, I think probably only time will tell. Most certainly my opinion is that I would definitely want to test it. Could I play this driver? Yeah, most certainly. I found it forgiving and I enjoyed hitting it. I must be perfectly honest. So get yourselves out there, down to the next driving range, try it out, and if this video has helped you, then hit the like button. If there's anything you'd like me to test in the next coming weeks and months, then leave me a comment down below. And as ever, please subscribe to the channel, because that helps me to get back a bit more often. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.